my god, it's lovely and sunny now. This green screen thing in detail works really well outside. I've got no screen behind me. I'm just using a backdrop, and then the sunshine is perfect. I just wanted to record a quick little video about central bank digital currencies, cbdc's. And I know that everybody is kind of panicked about the government issuing tokens, and I get the concerns and the worries, the tracking, the ability to freeze your assets. I think people are presuming that one is going to replace the other, and I don't see that. There's always going to be people dealing with different stuff, be it gold, silver, precious metals, anything that people value, right? It could be somebody has stored 1,000,000 tons or 100,000,000 tons of something in a warehouse somewhere, and is, at some point that's going to be valuable to somebody. I guess it's like these people who store a bunch of stuff for Christmas and Easter and Valentine's, buy it cheap, import it, sit on it for 6 months or 12 months and make a return on it. Something is always a value of somebody to somebody at some point. But I do get all the concerns about the CDBCs, but CBDCs, should I say. But I also think that it probably might be a really good way out for dealing with the apathy of countries' citizens as well. If you're so polarized with people on the left or the right that it just causes this kind of friction all the time, and you're just focused on the white noise crap of it all, and actually you don't have these mobilized, active, citizens. I mean, you take a look at somewhere like the Netherlands. I've always found the Netherlands and Dutch people very, very optimized, very efficient. Whenever I've come to Schiphol Airport and go downstairs to get on the train, it's always on time, or nearly always on time. But they just have a methodical way of living their lives. There's a great thing that I discovered about a year ago, which is this donut economy that the Dutch live by. It's like a 360 approach to life. It has an outer ring, a middle ring, and like a tire ring. Tire ring being your life, and the services and things around the edges of it, including the government. And I think when you live in a country that has abundance, that has so many things that you take for granted, you get so used to it, it does make people apathetic. They get their relationship, they get their house, they get their career, and it's mine and look after mine. And then they end up running into problems with the neighbors and external things outside of their control, and then all of a sudden it's like you're isolating yourself and your family and even your opinions from each other. So I think CBDCs could be quite good in terms of mobilizing citizens to take part in local events, local government, just being a good citizen in a local area, helping out, and getting paid in those tokens for being a citizen. People say that time is money. Well, literally, with a token, with a trackable token, that somebody can verify that you actually did the work, you turned up, you helped the community member, you coached a kid's team on something or other. I think it's great for that. I know people are panicked about the tracking of it, and the government knows about your money. The government knows everything about you anyway. So that's kind of null and void and muted for me. I don't like the idea that we might end up being manipulated by these things in terms of 15-minute cities. You can't go out of the place unless you've accrued a certain amount of tokens, or you've done, politically correct things in society to earn those tokens, or they could freeze them at any time. I think if you're a smart digital individual these days, you don't have your eggs in one basket. You wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, I'm just getting rid of my currency now, and I'm just going to totally adopt these CBDCs from the government. I keep getting the acronym wrong, I'm sorry. I don't think people are stupid enough to just go all in on these things, because it's brand new technology. It's going to break. Somebody's going to hack it. It's going to fall over. It's not going to be reliant, although it might be more cost effective than printing loads of stickers or trying to do outreach to a bunch of people about the gentrification of a local area and why you should get involved. I think we've got a lot of class society issues that we need to deal with, but if we're not talking to each other, then those things will never get solved. So I'm kind of on the fence. I'm 50-50 about it. I love technology. I love tokens. I know from my personal perspective of dealing with digital tokens over the last 4 or 5 years, that they do have some value in terms of keeping me interested, being part of a community, getting rewarded for my time and input, and curating and helping that community to understand these new technologies while understanding them myself, while learning to understand them myself. So I think digital tokens do have a really good societal impact, and also being somebody who worked for local government for quite a number of years and knowing how slow those things can happen. We're talking about people losing their jobs, 40% of the jobs disappearing to AI. Having something that you can deploy fast so people can eat, and you can do that at a low cost, it kind of just blows out everything else that these local authorities and governments have in their arsenal to stave off those problems. Now, I'm talking logic here, so obviously sometimes that logic doesn't make sense for governments, or they go slow, or they want to use it for political gain. But it's cheaper than the alternative, which is you end up with more homelessness, you have more people on the streets. You have to find a happy medium with all of this. That's why I bought the domain 10 years ago, because it's all about finding a happy medium. I don't want to be at the bottom, I don't want to be at the top, I want to be in somewhere in the middle, so I can look down, I can look up and see how I can be inside of both of those worlds and help people who are down come up, and those people who are up to look down a little bit and say, okay, we can probably better off developing a middle class. That was a tree creaking, kind of terrified me, worried about it falling on me. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. I rabbited on for 6.5 minutes, but what do you think about the tokens from the government? Are you into them, or are you scared of them, or are you just going to be one of those, people who's like, oh, the government wants to control everything, control your mind, brainwaves, Cuba. I'm interested. I'll play with it. CBDCs, hook me up with some tokens. Let's go.